Gentlemen in the mix.
Can devs do something?
What it needs is a solid base. And if it's going to stand the test of time, you gotta dig real deep. What it needs is a solid base. No amount of fancy paint gonna keep it from blowing away. What it needs is a solid base.
I can't take this anymore. Every day I'm checking the price and it's dipping. Every day I check the price, bad price. I have overinvested by a lot.
Wow.
Mama Ivy tipped $100. Hex USD thanks Mitarty smile.
Yeah, well, look at Hex. Thanks so much, Mama Ivy, which is the governor of my state. K Ivy. But we call her Grandma because she's like really, really old. So trying to adjust these levels. A lot of rain, a lot of storms. I don't think you would blame me for leaving up the thunderstorm, right? Because it's way worse than it was yesterday. I mean, it's 5% worse than it was yesterday since we last spoke, really. $1,663. But Bitcoin's not the story of the death and the losses. It's the altcoins where, I mean, on my watch list, like Theta down 20%, right? Once you break supports, you have to have stop losses, right? That's why, like, if there's ever a trade setup posted, stop loss. If you don't have a stop loss set up, you better not be ever trying to think about long an asset. Because, like, when assets are normally, like almost always, the entry is set up at a strategic entry point. And so you're very close to that stop out level there. So you take on minimal losses when, if it fails, you're out. And yeah, dude, these altcoins all broke like critical supports, inflection points where, you know, if in another universe they would have held and they'd have rallied, but not this time because the macro way too bearish and these stocks, the index funds, too bearish right now. Sorry, yeah, so we'll look at Hex. Dang, dude. Nick coming in, one-upping Mama Ivy, dude. Are you kidding me?
So much bear. Happy weekend, mate. Smiley face.
Thanks, Nick. And Mama Ivy. $211.19 in a few minutes. That might warrant me cracking a beer. I don't know if I was thinking about, you know, bringing out the wheel game. But I don't know, dude. I really don't know. I mean, like, it's Saturday, which is appropriate. I haven't done that in a while. Bitcoin's has been collapsing. Crypto collapsing. Oh, yeah, hold on a sec. Are decibel levels good, man, before we get this started? Really? Just want to make sure. Yeah, well, real quick, let me just do this. Yeah, that's good. Alright, so this is just your daily time scale, and we just scale left and see the major levels of inflection. And there's none until another 10+%. I don't know exactly what it is. There's no support, formal support here where you are. Yeah, you'd have to lose another 11 to 14% of your value to be at a major level where reversals have occurred. Just, you know, between 30K, 40K, it is a straight line, straight up, or straight line down, straight line up affair. Like, that's all the price does between those levels.
KMC wearing Kedler right now.
It is, man. It's kind of insane. Sitting at the bottom of a trading range, never broke down, is outperforming everything in the world pretty much right now in crypto. And yeah, I mean, it might be worth looking at just because everything else is so depressing. And, you know, commodities market closed, stock market closed. All we can look at is crypto, right? Dude, no way. Let's go. Nick, you see that? Are you out there, man? Australia, mate?
Bruh.
Ross tipped $112. You are gonna need the bump. The plebs are freaking out and broke. Here to help when everyone runs for the hills.
Thanks, Ross, man. Appreciate it, dudes. Well, I mean, I think it's important, right? What I do is important in these trying, troubling times. I mean, you remember, you know, though the price is not going up and trade setups that are long cannot succeed. You know, the analysis, I mean, really, the bottom here, we presented an argument for the shortening of thrust. It rallied, but unfortunately just double topped out. Bearish divergence here in December 27th for a dump, and then you got right back down to that same support, and then it was like identified, right? I mean, like if you're a viewer of the stream, you don't have to be patron or anything, like, right, like the lower highs consecutively at support, very bearish distribution, major markdown, and then just, right, it looked good and then terrible. You see that selling, and it's like, that's it, man, it's over for crypto. I mean, I even texted or tweeted, messaged somebody, it's over. Like when we thought there might have been some hope. No, once an impulse like that occurs, it's done. And lo and behold, the massive markdown after the third consecutive lower high. Isn't that wild? I mean, you learn something from just, here's your experience. You know, just maybe you were newer in this market the whole way down, but dang, man, you can't tell me there's not some sort of education involved with like what has been happening on Bitcoin, at least on the 60-minute, before very, very serious dumps, right? 3 times classic distribution. And yeah, it served us well in protecting ourselves, at least. I mean, you know. And so right now I don't see like where it's holding. It's just hanging out. I mean, the selling's real bad, and it's maybe why it's not continuing to dump is it's the weekend, lower volume, less market participants trading. Also the fact that you literally went to Chernobyl levels on like every single time scale of oversold territory, where I mean, like on the 4 hour itself, 18.36. When's the last time you saw 18.36? December 4th, I guess, on the 4 hour. But that was bad. I mean, that was terrible. That was like collapsing for that rally. So you're just right back at those same levels. And then before that, though, you had not seen 18.36 since the COVID crash. No, I'm sorry, September of 2020. So that same year. But anyway, yeah, just bad on all time scales. And there's no edge. I mean, maybe let's go to the 60-minute and just see, is there any hopium to smoke? A little bit, but here's the issue. I mean, like, maybe you had divergence. Now you don't. Like, I mean, maybe that was diverging. It manifested into literally nothing, man. Nothing. Remember, bullish indicators on any time scale in bearish trends are oftentimes unreliable, and if they do even play out, they oftentimes underperform. This is underperformance. I think that would be putting it politely. Underperformance, no, it's not performing. Nothing's happening, right? So just big yikes, dude. On all time scales. Daily, right? Daily RSI at its lowest point since the COVID crash. And it's not even a joke, dude. Like March 12th, 2020. That's when you were at this low before. September 2019. That was the capitulation crash, you know, when it went down to 3150 the first time in November 2018. So you're just at levels where like it's like if you care about Bitcoin price action history, you're at like those historical texts, like it'll be in the Bitcoin price action history book. You're at those levels on the relative strength index, right, on the daily. So, but this could end up becoming one of those. Oh, it's in the history book, right? All right, so Bitcoin, and let's look at the weekly because the weekly will close tomorrow, close in 1 day and 1 hour. That bearish engulfing candle that we had identified is growing in size. But hey, good news, I guess, is like it's getting closer and closer to that 32,380, 32,000, or yeah, just 32 to 33,000 area. The candle low closes from January of 21 and July 21, right? You're on the way. You're very close. And what does that line up with? What do these weekly candle low closes line up with? You have to go to the Bitcoin futures chart to see that. And Bitcoin futures chart, there is a gap. There's a gap at $32,300, right around there, right? So a lot of confluence maybe. Okay, Nick coming in, one up in the one upper. Are you kidding me?
Flipping coupons in the stock market.
Glad to have you and Carney around me. Cool face, Kings.
Wow, dude. Thanks, Nick, man, for the 158.84 right there, one-upping Ross. Thanks, dude. If we get one more one-up, I have to get a beer, right? Isn't it obligatory at this point, chat? I mean... Man, thank y'all. Holy crap. But you get it, why it's like it's not a bad argument to have to think that maybe 32K would be next, right? Because of gap fills and weekly candle low closes multiple times from history. The very limited history we have up at these levels, right, on Bitcoin. So, yeah, and there's just no edge. I mean, I guess eventually, right, Bitcoin keeps selling off, and eventually it just makes a lower level negative Momo than minus 314 right here. Then I guess you get triple divergence or something. But yeah, I mean, good news too is also, hey, there are gaps to the upside to fill too. There's a gap at 53,575 one day. Chat, one day.
Hey Mitch, got an S coin for you. Polka used.
Influential influences. Thanks for 20, dude. Yeah, we'll look at your Tebet off-brand S coin. Oh, let me guess. I've never heard of it in my life, so it might actually be so unheard of that the algorithms and bots aren't even set up to sell with the macro. So it's zero beta. Okay. Also, 7 people trade this asset. You and, I don't know, 6 people working at McDonald's now, right? Anyway, that's kind of big. Oh, Bitcoin dominance, if you want to take a look, is up somewhat. It was up a lot more, but you know, when Bitcoin rallied, stopped selling off a little bit, it did pull back some because altcoins kind of had a. When you're down 20% on the day, sometimes violence and price action occurs. You go, instead of being down 20%, sometimes you're only down 15% because Bitcoin burped. You know, like rallied a little bit. I'm talking like went up $400. But you can clearly see continuing to separate from that inflection point between 39 and 40% total market cap dominance. You think that could certainly continue. If it does, that means most likely what's happening is Bitcoin's continuing to sell off, altcoins continuing to get devastated way worse percentage-wise in losses than Bitcoin. And that's what would probably be in store for this chart. So, hey, man. You never know what's going to happen, man, in this stream on the weekend or any day for that matter. You got unbelievable people in this community. They're so supportive and generous, and are the reasons why, you know, certainly the reasons why I never have to take a sponsorship with something or, you know, monetize a stream. It's all because of y'all, man. So anyway, that's dominance. It's up 1.61% today. Right, so up more than yesterday for sure. All right, so I guess we can just go to Ethereum now, so you can see it down 6.45%. From that lowest low in June to the high, the all-time high, is now achieved a 78% retrace, with no edge in sight at all. Hard and very little to no support looking left. I mean, there's one time from July 8th that it was a resistance. That's it. Leads you to believe, most likely, what makes the most sense is Ethereum continuing to sell off eventually. Maybe it rallies tomorrow or something, but eventually the wave down would take you to 2,000. Just because it's an 88% retrace and it's confluent with actual better levels of support, maybe just that peak from February. That valley from April of last year, and I guess traders settled up above that in May. That's kind of it though, so it's still not even, it's okay. It's not like a steel wall, but like you just think a full reset in these market conditions would make sense. Yeah, sure. Certainly no divergence. I mean, you are at Ethereum today is at its lowest relative strength officially since November of 2018. Chad, do you hear me? What I'm saying about Ethereum on the daily is Ethereum is now lower on the relative strength index than it was during the COVID crash and in December of 2019. Wow.
Price gonna dip.
Sorry, throat's kind of like drying out. Hold on. I have to get water in a second too in the other room. Isn't that bad? I mean, Bitcoin's not even that bad, dude. Capitulation. Oh, dude, I gotta get a water. Hold on a second. My Sorry. My God, man. All this communicating about devastating things going on is just dried up my throat. So that was it. No more tip war. Ross? Have you been defeated soundly? Yeah, I think you have. I think I've never seen Ross really lose before. But he guess he gave up, man. That's cool. All right. So congrats, Nick. So I think 2000, right? 2000 makes sense, most sense eventually on Ethereum. Then you could say it's some sort of M shape. Yeah, M shape and hitting the pattern completion zone of the M shape. Sure. Okay, Binance Coin, which is the third largest cryptocurrency in the world. Devastated, but had plotted this, which really doesn't matter. I mean, if Bitcoin's going to keep dumping, Ethereum's going to keep dumping, I don't know how 350 holds here, and I don't know how this plays out. This, like, you know, September load up. It's just that M shape, you know, at its pattern completion zone, but, and I mean, where it's strategically nice too, but if Bitcoin's going to 30K, there's no way BNB will hold $350. It will collapse below that and go to much, much lower levels, and it could be seeing $200. It could do exactly what Ethereum's doing. Still massively outperforming Ethereum. Right? Well, not massively. Ethereum, if this was the Ethereum chart, Ethereum would be at 310 right here. You know, where BNB would be at 310, whatever. Right? And, you know, the 886 is like 266, and that's like $2,000 in Ethereum. Right? So it's there, but I'm not saying time to take action, because it would just be a type 1 return anyway and could completely get invalidated. It hasn't even really actually reacted here at all. I mean, it bounced because Bitcoin bounced, right? So yeah, could be in store for a much larger M with the pattern completion zone being 263. But 263, I mean, it kind of lines up with one low from July of last year, but you'd think like 205 if 350 doesn't hold. God. Oh, by the way, like when you tip and the lights change, I have set it up to where all the lights, like in the rooms on this side of the building, light up. So it's like, say you're at like the rooftop bar or you're anywhere on the south side of the city and you tip and it's like dark, it's like nightfall now, like everyone can see that. So it's pretty cool, right? It's like, you'd be like, what is going on up there? What is the green blinking on the top floor of that building? So I don't think anyone knew that. I've never even told anyone about it. It's not just this room. It's like the whole top floor on this side of the building. Anyway. So BNB, Cardano fell below $1 briefly. Holy crap. It cracked through all that support. 92.3 cents at its lowest point. Rallied all the way to $1.06.
DAG/USDTP LS Daddy.
What's up, Jordan, dude? Yes, my son. I shall. I'm just kidding. Thank you, dude. There it is. Obligatory beer. Alabama beats the Aussie. He lives in the prison state. Hey, we are close to one Georgia, right?
$60. Alabama beats the Aussie. Plus, he lives in a prison state. Mitch Beer Time Artie.
You want to see how much faith I had, or how much I believed in you, Ross? I got it. So, thanks, dude, for one-upping Nick.
Shout you out to the rooftop bar.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. It'd be cool if someone's over there and they were like videoing it or something. So, thanks, dude. Yeah, it's wild. It's really fun. I mean, I think I gotta like mess with it and see. I might start doing like the whole top floor. So like out in the foyer and all, because you know, it's top of the floor, so it's like the other side of the city could see it too. But that's like more business and less residences over there. It's like the, you know, big buildings. So cheers to Ross, K Ivy, Nick, H, the Kings. This is for y'all. And everyone, really, right? Once it hits your lips, it feels so good, or tastes so good. So, really sketched. I don't think that this is valid of an M shape, really. anymore. Dude, come on. Really, when it bottomed out, showed the engulfing candle, it appreciated in value 53% in less than a week. That's real. I mean, that played out, but it's the performance, right? It played out and then failed to hold or sustain prices above 150. That was everything, right? You can't and then the macro collapses. So yeah, you're going to be making the lowest lows you've made. You did make the lowest lows you'd made since April of last year. And you're somehow still holding, but if Bitcoin goes to 30K, you will not hold. This will collapse. This will probably go down to 60 cents minimum. All right. I don't even think 60 cents. I don't even know why 60 cents is here. What the? Sorry. If you don't hold, Chad, if you don't hold $1, you could be going to 38 cents and it wouldn't be weird. It would make plenty of sense. Straight up. Straight down. Yeah, not a joke. Just like Bitcoin, you break 40K, 30K. Well, you're already halfway there, over halfway there in a day, right? So, dang, Klaus. It's like Klaus, right? Klaus. Am I saying it right? McAdoo. Dude, let's get some hype in the freaking chat, dude. Dang, man, the pound's coming in.
Big fan, long time lurker, ETH weekly, what are your thoughts?
Thanks, dude. We'll look at the weekly. Sorry, I didn't go to the weekly. Yeah, just know, what could be in store for Cardano. And we're talking, you know what that'd be, right? I'm going to Ethereum next. All right, thank you, Klaus. You could just think about, I don't know, even this low, this swing low from September of 2020. Jesus. Full reset is what? Chat, come on. 786 makes 0 sense because there's no support looking left. But the 88.6% retrace, chat, the full reset from a major discernible swing low from September 2020 is confluent with that peak from May of 2018. That is why it makes sense that it could see 38.9 cents. How much more downside is that on Cardano from literally where it is right now? There is still another 61% downside on Cardano once $1 breaks bearishly. If this doesn't hold, screwed. Screwed. And don't count on the harmonic to play out because the trend is not bullish right now. Hasn't been. It's been in a correction since September. Far longer than Bitcoin Ethereum. You never go full reset. You oftentimes, most of the time, go full reset, right? Because no one can believe it. No one can believe, oh, it'll make a major 886. Okay. Let's go to Ethereum and then the weekly. Weekly on Ethereum is nasty, but I don't think your trend reversal is actually in jeopardy until you fall below 2K. For real. But yeah, I mean, think about it. So we just talked about that. What happens if the cycle's over?
What up, Mitch?
Hey,
can you
Jimmy Justin, man.
HBI?
HBI, open up. Because FBI. Thanks, dude. Yeah, we'll look at that. Look at HBI. Thanks, man. Good to see you. So we're just talking about the idea. All right, we don't know. It's kind of perfect right now. 618 on B, almost 113 on C. Okay, if you did a full reset on Ethereum, then you'd be at $622. Could you imagine that? You'd be well below the old all-time high from January 2018. But there would be opportunity. I mean, there would certainly be opportunity. Remember, it's happened in the past. It has happened in the past, chat. A little different structure. But you just go from these lows from 2016, XAB. That's too deep on B, but it's an M shape, right? It did lose one time from December 2016, and then December 2018. In a couple years, it lost 93% of its value, and then sat there for a couple years, and then double bottomed on the weekly and the monthly, and that was identified. And the COVID crash was a second low, and then gone. So you have seen full resets before, and way more than 886, 94%. So it's an idea, but I don't think you can even talk about this idea really until you breach that. This looks like that $1,700, $1,800 area and then 1420 breaks, and then then you have a full reset. So it's not good, man. I mean, like, just confirmation high. You'd really need to see Ethereum at some point pivot above $1,800. That's your only hope, you know. Otherwise, this is gonna happen probably, right? Eventually. All right, so don't try to scare people, but you know, it's M shapes. M shapes happen. It could happen again. Okay. We didn't look at Sol. We got to look at SOL. What is it at now? It's CoinMarketCap. Dude, that one got obliterated. It got obliterated so much it's now Cardano has flipped Solana. There you go. Solana going for that full reset too. That's a great example. Hey, talk about full reset. Look no further than SOL. Here it is. We talked about it. Every day we're on this chart because it's such a large market cap coin. Once you break 130, 125 or whatever, it's over. You're going to maybe $56. You look how like fast it's happened, right? This is a weekly. But look how fast you get. I mean, this is like, hopefully you're learning about inflection points and what they mean if you break them. You want nothing to do with SOL. If it breaks 124, it's over. Yeah, it is. It's over, and it's not gonna stop. $71 doesn't really make much sense. Historically, there's nothing there, right? So what makes the most sense? An 88% retrace around $50, $47.79. But you know, really, it's like $58 to $48 because you actually have some old highs from May of 2021, and that what would it do? Like it would fulfill the destiny, the fate of the M. Yep, the 886. There would be. That would make more sense. You would want to wait. You don't do anything. You do not buy SOL until you see maybe $50. Okay? Mama Ivy. Yeah, it looks like you can throw a rave party. $1. It makes the lights go off. Yeah, think about it. Yep. What happened to Hex? We're still doing the rounds, right? The rounds of like the major coins like Sol and Cardano and BNB, Ethereum, Bitcoin. And someone requested something about Ethereum. You know, we spent some time emphasizing on Bitcoin, right? So we just haven't got to the request yet. But speaking of that, just as everyone's patience runs out with me, let's look at total, then we'll go to the request, right?
I like turtles.
We like totals that from the June low to the all-time high, 78% retrace, tested, touched today, and bounced fairly. Somewhat. So thinking it makes more sense to see an 886 here, right? 1.34 trillion because look left, there's like a support here kind of. There's a lot more chop down here between the 100% retrace and 886. Where you are now doesn't make too much sense. I mean, there's that one low, and that's maybe why you bounced there. But I think this would be probably going for that full reset, dude. Okay. So Hex, I believe, was first, right? Had to have been. Yep, it's Hex. Hex is actually, again, still kind of like hanging in there better than most. Yeah, it is. It really is, right? So this is what we had come up with. Hex, I don't want to see Hex fall below 17.5 cents. It happens to be at 17.5 cents and isn't really catching many bids. And so you had this 886 M shape kind of down here at like 14 cents. And if that holds, you're okay. But like, dude, the cutoff for Hex, I think, kind of is gonna be like 12.7 to 13 cents. You don't want to fall below that.
Please be honest. You can't hurt my feelings. Bullish engulfing on monthly, weekly bullish divergence. Double bottom at a 786 from previous swing low to high.
So Eric, dude, well, if I'm hurting your feelings by crapping on a request, you are taking it personal and you're getting really emotional about it. You shouldn't do that, man. I mean, that's the thing, though. There have actually been people like in the community that have been offended because like they take it personal that I crapped on the asset they requested. And it's like, I'm not going to be berated. Like, okay, dude. Look, you can look at it like that, but when it's not my intent to offend you or make you feel bad, you have no right to be upset. So anyway, I don't really like the the oscillators on the daily on Hex right now, just the negative Momo building. You're in the bearish control zone now. You're not showing divergence. It really, there isn't a very strong argument for why this inflection point would hold. Right? There's not much backing it up, even though it could, and even though we know it is. It's that one time of that candle high close, everything reacted, responded to it afterwards, including right now. Normally at those levels, you want to see a bunch of other variables implying a reversal too, and you just don't have that right now. It sucks. So there could be more downside in store for Hex with this macro being so terrible. I mean, don't get mad at Hex. You know, if Hexkins are, yeah, oh my god, this project or whatever, it's like, this is a crappy chart. It's actually a way better chart than most charts. I mean, I'm just saying, but it is still having problems like everything else in this market. Yeah, the Great Reset, the Great Depression, the GRT reset, literally the GRT reset and the GRT depression. Yes, both of those are accurate. Yep. I wouldn't say so. You say TA is like astrology from Inboys right now. You'll not find an edge. Everything is broken down. I think like seeing bullish patterns fail so tremendously is illuminating. I think that gives you all you need to know that the trend's bullish and bearish trends are going to prevail, and be looking for bear flags, rising wedges, bearish harmonics like bearish ciphers, bearish sharks, running up to test old supply lines of downtrends, and then bearish divergence, hidden divergence, looking for that stuff because that's going to be outperforming probably, and it's probably going to be reliable. So no, I mean, like, you know, someone even asked me that I'm close with. They're like, so I guess TA just it doesn't work in this market, and it's like, it depends on the trend. When the trend is intact, it works out brilliantly, because if you're in a bullish trend and bullish patterns are presenting themselves, they're going to be more reliable and they're going to outperform. But when the trend reverses and goes bearish, which sometimes it's difficult to perceive that, but we know we're in a downtrend, the midterm downtrend that is extending its stay, right? The bullish patterns that you identify are going to fail a lot, and that's telling. It's letting you know the trend is not your friend and you're bearish, right? But, you know, people weren't coming in here complaining about TA being astrology on something like Hex when it was in a well-established uptrend.
Is that a joint?
I don't know. I mean, like, the stage is set for that. Yeah, I mean, based on history, when you have terrible Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays consecutively, Mondays are
Mitch,
awful
just wanted to
circuit
let you know
breakers.
we have cream toppings with your burgers at McDonald's. Cream forever.
Sweet, dude. We're working on, we're going to be doing a McDonald's stream if this keeps up, all right? I'm not kidding. Like, green screen. I'm going to be hanging out with Michael Saylor. He's going to be my co-employee, co-worker, whatever. And, of course, the president of El Salvador will be there, too. He might be my manager. I don't know. So, like, right, I mean, like, hey, well-established downtrend identified, right? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, accumulation. Okay, double bottom was identified before it played out. The falling wedge was identified before it played out. Richard Schuler was on this stream when this was identified before it broke out. And it started breaking out. And then the bullish 5-0 hits the PCZ, and what did it do? It played out and outperformed. And then a double top, and then reversed. But the reversal was short-lived because the uptrend was still intact. You held old resistance as support. Then you showed, and we identified this before it played out, because that's, you just pattern recognition, identification. And 1, 2, 3. It was a 3 rising valleys. It played out. That was like a trade setup. And then a massive double bottom. And that played out. It outperformed and hit the measure move and exceeded that. And then just kept going. And then, like, eventually the distribution started coming to be. Wyckoff distribution, it seems. And we knew once you broke 34 cents, it was over. You were screwed. You were probably going down to much lower levels. That ended up happening, right? And all of a sudden, the lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, double top. It was reliable and outperformed. And multiple times that happened. So you're in a downtrend. So you're looking for bearish trends. You're not looking for really bullish trends. So, you know, people can say astrology all you want, but you weren't here. You didn't exist as a person. And if you said that, you're an idiot. Like, to say, oh, it doesn't work, but it's like, look at this. Ross knows. Ross was here every day, watching all this stuff develop and then play out. Develop to play out.
Fallen fellow soldier.
I mean, I guess you'd have to give me your face or something so we could Photoshop it on a McDonald's worker, I guess, if we were going to do it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I got Shaylin working on it, right? Priority, man. That and a crazy NFT. He's got a supercomputer and it's like having trouble because of the graphics and stuff on it. The NFT, maybe Bitcoin or maybe Ethereum will be at $600+ by the time the NFT's done, and then you'll get a nice sale. It won't cost much. So anyway, just a good little lesson in trends, trend analysis, and pattern recognition in the trend. You're looking for bullish patterns and bullish trends. In bearish trends, you're looking for bearish patterns. You get it? It's all about the trend, man. Strength of the patterns depends on the trend. But, you know, at the same time, I say that, and it's like, it could keep dumping, I guess, but it's already lost a lot of its value from, you know, previous lows. And I've seen it many times where you break something like a downtrend, you create the M shape, and then you reverse to a major rally, and that's an X, A, B, C, D. And the D wave takes you to much, much higher levels, but then it makes a much larger W shape and then ushers in a major reversal. It's over, right? So, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, next request. Okay, it's something I've never heard of in my life. No, it's Polka City, chat. Actually, I have memory of this place. Somehow I was here. Someone requested this. The only way I'd ever looked at this is someone requested it at one point in history. Plotted a couple horizontal lines and moved on, and it has continued to dump to its lowest price of all time. 28.83 cents. You know what that means? It can only go to zero, meaning it can only lose 100% of its value from here, because it's Polka City, which is literally a joke. It's like, you know, tent city, homeless. I bet you like Polka City, a bunch of homeless people, once San Francisco runs out of room, they'll go to Polka City, right? Yep, there you go, dude. Get wrecked, Polka City. We hope you go to zero, because we would just laugh, and it would be funny, huh? So this was a request, an actual unironic request, and I'm sitting here influential influences, and I'm like, there's no action to take, no one cares, I don't care if it rallies, it is a loser. This is what losers look like on charts. If one was a major loser in real life, their chart would look something like that. Their life's chart would look like that. All it does is lose. All it does is make lower highs and dumps to lower lows and then hits all-time lows all the time. That's a loser. Yep. Polka City. The residents of Polka City, I guess, are losers. I don't know, whatever. It's the fundamentals, man. You just don't understand. Okay, we've been here before. Still sitting at that 886, huh? Yeah, I don't really come here. It's not on my watch list or anything. I don't think this is going to hold. I mean, it might. Look, 886 from that low down here to the high. But at this point, I don't even know if that's the way we're supposed to be looking at this. All this distribution going on still. So much distribution. Such a downtrend, right? The buying climax, then the lower highs and the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, probably lower low. I wouldn't touch this. I get it. It's at an inflection point, but there's no edge. And you know Bitcoin could go down to 30K, 32K, and it's not going to be weird. So if Bitcoin, just think about it. Critical thinking here. This is DAG, Constellation to Tether. About 20 people have heard of this in their life. Do you think that 14 cents is going to hold if Bitcoin goes to test 33K? The answer, spoiler alert, no, it will not hold. It will go to 9.8 to 10 cents. These peaks from March and May of 2021, that's where it's going, most likely. There's no edge. It could just react here and rally, but I almost guarantee you, I could, with high probability, say that in this well-established downtrend, say it does react here. Oh, Ray, you're such an idiot, dude. This thing's so good. It's taken over the world. Makes another lower high, even maybe back test that 19-cent area, and then finally sees 9.8, 10 cents. Fine. Like, whatever, dude. You could hold here all day. Who cares? Look at the macro. Look at the S&P 500. Look at the NASDAQ. Look at Amazon. Look at his chart. What's happening to it right now? You think Amazon's not going to go through a correction and DAG's going to hold on? No, it's not. Imagine living in a world where Amazon goes into a massive correction, as well as, you know, all mega cap tech stocks, and then DAG somehow holds 14 cents. Really? It's not going to happen. Pretty much, Billy. Yep. That's exactly, I guess, what I said, right?
Please bless us with your TA for SKL/USD Mitch. Thank you.
Hey, Jade, let me just go out on a limb here and say it's probably terrible. It's probably as bad as the
How about
DAG.
a look at PRQ/USDT on Poloniex? Got an M shape near the 0.886 and possible bullish divergence on the daily and weekly.
Okay, I mean, we'll look at it, but chances are it's not going to do well if Bitcoin goes to 33K, which we think is probable. You know, Bitcoin's not at any formal support really right now at all. And there's no edge, there's no seller exhaustion, none of that. So, yeah. Inverse moon soon. You know, core of the earth soon. Nice false little breakout there, you know, in January, early January. Yeah. No thanks. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Let us see here. Next request. HBI, open up. Haynes. Wait till we get our Haynes on you. Oh yeah, I was like, what is that ticker again? I remembered. I remember making that joke about it like 2 years ago. Here we are. It's Haynes, baby. It's Haynes. Lots of distribution going on. I don't like that. I hate the way it looks right now since May. No way, dude.
Thanks for that tag breakdown. Building a validator node and want a deep discount. Hard.
There you go, dude. Do your thing, man. Go wild. Thanks, dude. So let's just, you know, clean chart here. Wow, that weekly, that's kind of interesting, right? Yeah, these highs being established way back in 2007. Yeah, and what a nice rally. COVID crash. What a just a V shape, but unfortunately, I mean, I get it, right? You're probably like, oh, it looks like maybe it's like down sloping consolidation, could be like a wedge or something. But to me, like, I really hate how it's like a high, then the low, then the lower high, then the lower low, then the lower highs, and now as of on the weekly, look what you've done, Jamie, man. Almost a bearish engulfing candle, but it was so bad that it couldn't even engulf because it opened lower last week than the week before on its close. And negative momentum, oh, it's just losing, and it's starting to build again. And the RSI looks terrible on the weekly. The RSI is sitting at 39. I mean, it's just back inside the bearish control zone, not oversold at all. To me, in the 200-week moving average, that's bad too. I get it. It broke a very, very nasty downtrend it had been in since 2015. For sure. Like, look at that supply line busted, and even the back test was gorgeous. That is a very pretty, right, channel, well-established channel on both sides. Broken, back tested, and rallied, but now your luck's kind of running out. Like, so to me, what do we see all the time? When we go through massive corrections, we make deep, full resets, right? This is almost a full reset, right? COVID crash. You end up making the M shape, right? You end up doing something like silver or whatever, where it's like, you know, I mean, you could look at it. It may not even be fully developed yet or something. But yeah, you think about like something like this, like a shark, you know, come back down to the 886. Come back test like that peak from 2008. And you might have a wonderful opportunity. What does that mean, though? That means there's a lot more downside on this asset, especially if this market goes into correction. I just don't know how, like, semiconductors and Amazon and all these big names that make massive amounts of money or revenue monthly or quarterly. I don't know how they go into this. And Hanes, I don't know if Hanes is considered a defensive stock. You know, underwear. I mean, maybe, because everyone's got to have underwear, man. But to me, I don't like it right here. I'm not really that I'm just not that taken aback by this chart. And I'm like, I can't wait to go long right now. It had a really nice run, right? Think about it. I mean, Hanes from its nadir of the COVID crash went up 214% in about a little over a year, and now it's showing distribution locally. Yeah, I'm just not really feeling it right now. I think there are probably better assets out there, but equity is collectively, yikes. You know, what is it a wedge? I mean, like, let's look and try to see. I mean, I'll paint it. You know, I'll definitely entertain some sort of idea here. I mean, kind of like that, but I don't like the oscillators on the daily or the weekly, man.
Get out of this totally helpless asset now.
What's up, Ben? Dang, dude, taking losses now. Didn't you? I mean, QNT, I'm sure it broke its own respective supports. You didn't have a stop loss. You just own this still. I mean, at this point, the way all these supports had been broken, like, everyone should have been stopped out. Like, everyone in this channel, everyone in this community should have just been stopped out of, like, everything. If you had any kind of, like, actionable, you know, you're working in an account, you know, your own portfolio, like, you can have hold accounts, that's fine. You don't do anything with those. They just DCA, doesn't matter. It goes to 2K, 10K. You're still DCAing it up, down. All right, it's very easy. You don't have to think about it. But then there's the other side, the other portfolio you have where you have to have stop losses set up on these S-coins. You have to. It's like mandatory, because they like almost always reset completely. They run up insane amounts and then they lose 88% of their value, and it could take 6 months for that to happen. They bleed out. And then they're all just sitting at these supports, all of them, like Theta. Wow, potential double bottom, bullish divergence in bullish conditions. That thing would go insane and it'd be amazing. And it's because it's happened a trillion times before. Where in those conditions, these things play out. But there is the offshoot chance that it doesn't play out. Bitcoin continues to dump. You have to have a stop loss set up below that inflection point. You have to. Otherwise, you're just doing it wrong, and you need to learn from that. Let it be an expensive lesson. I don't want you to have to deal with that, but yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, I get it. Maybe you're requesting it maybe for the right reasons, but when you zoom out, you see the weekly, daily, it's probably gonna continue correcting. It's underwear, dude. All right, anyway, sorry. You can step out as long as you're awake and you can see what's happening, fine. Limit sell at a reasonable level before the dump. You know, Bulkowski even talks about in his books having stop losses at critical supports versus below them, because you run the risk of a running stop loss, which I'm sure happened to a lot of people. Maybe even last night, even yesterday. I don't know why you would be in this market at all in any asset, because the critical support broke when Bitcoin broke 40K. All the altcoins broke their supports. So whatever, but like, yeah, certainly below those supports at 40,665. I mean, there could be no demand available to fill your stop loss, which you're selling, right? No one's buying it because it's dumping so fast. So it doesn't trigger your stop loss. That's why Bulkowski sometimes just says, if he gets back down to this support, I'm out this time.
Skip the bear market.
Yikes. Frank, big yikes. Are you unironically shilling right now in a technical analysis channel, right? Come on, dude. Thanks for the contribution, but yeah, we just don't do that. We don't like... Imagine like if, you know, we let everyone shill their trash S-coins in TTS. It'd be bad. You're better than that. Or maybe, I don't know you really, so you might not be better than that. But, 49ers or Green Bay, Jacob says. Dude, it's home field advantage for the Packers. It's going to be freezing cold. I don't know if the 49ers can handle those frigid conditions. But 49ers are kind of the edge, right? They got the edge. They're the better team. They got the better everything. So, my God, I don't know, man. I mean, is
I learned so much.
Aaron Rodgers going to pull it out? He could at home.
Mine that you can recommend to us.
Great question, Dark to Light. Join the Discord and go to the Educational Resources tab, and your question will be answered. Okay? The Discord link is pinned above in the chat. And yeah, again, it's like there are more than one books, so it's like go there, and that'll answer it for you. Okay? Thanks, dude. Okay, chat. New day has been born. Bitcoin just had its lowest daily candle close since the date of July 25th, right? Another lowest close of the correction that started after all-time highs was achieved in November. There it is. No edge. Of course, anytime you get so oversold like this, you know, a relief rally can come to be, but you're just flipping a coin. At the same time, it could continue its nasty dump, go retest the lowest lows, 34,126 again. Sure. There's nothing implying a reversal right now, but you are extremely oversold. And again, oftentimes when you get down to these 20s, you might see a green candle. So it's like, congratulations, but it doesn't mean anything's changed. This is your well-established downtrend, and it's pretty awesome. I mean, it just tested the heart line kind of at the lows of the day yesterday. Yeah. So technically the 4-hour look, chat. I mean, you normally want big candles, but you did get like some sort of like bullish engulfing candle, chat, on the last 4-hour close. So that could very well usher in a scrub relief rally. It could, but there's nothing implying that it's going to happen. So get your coins out and start flipping them if you want to start taking 50% chances in the middle of nowhere, by all means. But you play the numbers game. In the long run, you're going to lose substantially. Helium mining's good. I can't remember. I'd have to ask my brother-in-law, but it's doing better than his helium miner where he lives, like substantially better. So because like where the locality of where the miner is here, in the dead middle of the city. So I don't know, but it's good. But I did tell him, we looked at the chart, the H&T chart, and it's like, dude, this thing's probably about to lose another 20-30% of its value the way it looks, and I'm sure it has, probably even more at this point. This was way before way before Bitcoin broke 42K that we were talking last week. Does Polka City have casinos? No, but Greenbow might. Just kidding. Never. National Guard have to show up. We get casinos. Okay, so no, definitely Mama Ivy. I definitely did not forget it. It was again, right? The stream kind of like it's just morphed into, hey, we're looking at the major market cap coins, like 5 of them. You know, Bitcoin dominance, total market cap, and like eventually we'll get to those requests. But it was the first one, so we're good. Lorenzo, you don't have to tell us, dude, right? Okay, you broke my stream.
Hi Mitch, can we look at TSM please? Thanks.
To hindsight, man.
0.0037600 ETH.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Put on the list. Next one was Baidu. Baidu Connect, in a massive downtrend, and it has just hit the supply line of the downtrend, and it filled a gap. Down 3.2%, and I don't think it's done. I don't think it's done selling off. No, this is where major reversals to the downside occur again, right? The trend's your friend. Look how bad that was. Oh, potential double bottom? Nope. Trend's bearish. So the bullish confirmation lows, the divergence, going to underperform and be unreliable. That happened. So litmus test. Yes, pay attention to failed patterns. To me, like, Baidu is effed below 173, right? I wouldn't have anything to do with Baidu ever in my life because it's Chinese communist Chinese internet software services, but if it's below 173, technically, I wouldn't have anything to do with it, even if it was like, oh, you know, you put a blindfold on whatever the asset is. Oh my god, it double bottomed 1 time, 2 times, but we just talked about it. Okay, well, break the resistance and we'll talk. Break 173, we'll talk. Break the supply line, we'll talk. You can't talk yet until it happens. So I think there could be more downside, right? Think about Fibonacci from your lowest low, the COVID crash low, to that buying climax high. You hit the 786 twice and lower highs. Failed breakout, right? So I would think that 113.96 is next. I think this is the perfect level to explore the idea of maybe selling short. Right? I mean, there's just, why would, until you break, and your stop loss is like 174. Right, it breaks 174, then it could be going up to 226 again. But not in these market conditions, dude. Are you kidding me? I just, like, no. Just big no on, like, maybe you don't go short. Maybe you don't do anything. You don't take any action. Going long, stupid, though. Like, I think here. It doesn't make sense. It's dumb. Still making lower highs than the previous highs. All of them. Every single one. This was just, most recently, your lowest high of the entire correction. So, no. If you're not short, do nothing. One would do nothing if they wanted to preserve their capital.
Bruh.
Sorry, music stopped. Oh, new set. Okay. See what happens. Does everyone kind of get what's going on here? What's up, Leon? Thank you, dude, for the $6.99 Canadian super chat. Is Ross still watching? Is Nick still watching? You all understand? I'm almost done with this first beer. Thanks for the about 850 people tuned in. If you're enjoying the coverage of all this selling, hit that like button and bell that sub. Like, you can't come here and be like, oh, you know, it's all bullcrap. Because, dude, I mean, come on, man. Like, though, yes, the great looking setups on the altcoins failed because Bitcoin. I mean, come on. Consecutive lower highs, third high dump, right? 1, 2, 3 dump, 1, 2, 3 dump, right? So now, yeah, bullish engulfing candle on Bitcoin in the 4 hour while being at, like, you know, Chernobyl levels of RSI. Yeah, maybe you catch follow through because it's the weekend, low volume. It rallies, man. It goes up to 36, 37K. And then next week comes by and we start dumping again. I mean, just like, great, man. Yeah, the selling is unreal. It's like crazy, incessant selling, and it's like nonstop. So sometimes you catch relief rallies. And don't be surprised if a relief rally starts with a bullish engulfing candle on the 4 hour. Relief rally, meaning like it goes up like a little bit. And things recover. And some of these alts might be up 7% today off this engulfing candle, and it rallies. Because they were just down like 35 to 40% in 2 days. Past 2 days, right? I'm in it for the technology. Well, that's the whole point, Mashed by Levi. Jerome Powell will blink if stocks get too bad. That's the whole point. The stock market has been doing this for years, like past decade. Oh, they're talking about raising rates. Their plan is to raise rates. And then the stock market holds things hostage. They hold the stock market hostage, the market participants with the capital to do it. And when it gets bad enough, technical damage being done, scary sell-offs, it's beginning to crash. Yes, the FOMC chair, they normally balk. They back off. Because it's happened over and over and over again. It was happening when Janet Yellen was there. So just don't be surprised if that's what's going on right now. Macro forces outside of the market. They're in the market. If they're participating in the market, they are market participants. They're inside the market still. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next request, right? I think we had more requests. Let's see, next one was this. Tepet off-brand S-Coin. That has been devastated just as bad. Just as bad as everything else. Understandable. but at one time in history, it's done things. I mean, like, you know, it was, you know, it bottomed out in June and July, had a type 2 return and rallied, underperformed massively, right? Could only get to like a 38% retrace from that high to low. Then just fail lower highs. Inflection point becomes resistance with confirmation. You dump to the next level of inflection and you rally off of it. And you even on the 4 hour, we had identified a double bottom that actually played out and got really close to hitting the measured move. And then it was over. It tested that 200 moving average, rejected it, and then you hit the same support again. That's telling. That's really bad, right? The same with Binance. Like, you hit these levels, you present bullish patterns, they play out some, but they underperform massively. And then when they sell off, they come right back down to where that pattern developed. That is how you strategize bullish patterns in bearish trends, right? To see if they do play out, they massively underperform and very fast come right back down to those entry areas, right? That's what we knew. You smelled the rat on BNB when that happened. Every day we would look at it. We post a trade setup on it. It started rallying, but just couldn't really take off, and then came eventually right back down to the entry. That's when you know, bad. Very, very bad. Bullish conditions, they would never do that. The patterns would continue to rally and you'd run to the next resistance. Not in bearish markets. In bearish trends, they don't even come close to those next major levels.
$24.99. Hello pal, HP, on CSE Canadian Stock Exchange. Weekly bullish bat showing on Scott's software. Some confluence with PRZ and original listing price, at an all-time volume profile level. And some hints at accumulation, I think. 0.010331040 TH.
Thanks so much, RJ, man. We'll look at that, and we'll go deeper into that analysis when we get there. Thanks, man. So SKL, let's just go to daily. See it. No point in even having this up anymore. Even though it did play out, it just underperformed because it's SKL. It means 95% retrace. It means loss. I wouldn't really look at this thing until it sees 6.2 cents. It's at 11. All right, when it loses half its value again, I guess another 50% haircut. That's when maybe you would look at it, because where you are, look left. There's nothing here. Nothing here. So just wait. One would just wait till 6 cents. I wouldn't touch this ever. Like, oh my God, it's so bad. And there's nothing implying that sellers are exhausted. You hit your lowest RSI ever in history of man. Negative momentum's building. There's no argument here for taking a long right now. And you request these assets because you're thinking maybe, hey, it might be time for a long. No, not good. Not good, man. Big yikes, these S-coins, dude. Next one was another S-coin. It's cool, whatever. Big yikes. Big yikes. Well, you can't say that the textbook bullish Garley didn't play out. 786, type 1, kind of type 2. Maybe 4 hour, 12 hour looks way better. Then hits, what does it do? Runs to the top of a mega range and then reverses. And then what does it do? Goes back down to the bottom of the range. And now here we are. Here we are on PRQ, lowest price, lowest daily candle close since July 20th. I wouldn't touch it. I get it, there's a wick here. There is one wick from June 22nd, but is there an edge? 100% certainty there is no edge. Your negative momentum has just begun to build. It would be prudent to wait till 29.4 cents to even look at it again. I'm not even talking about taking action. I'm talking about you probably wouldn't even want to come back to this chart until you set up an alert at 29.4 cents and you hear the beep. That's probably the next time you should even look at this chart again, okay? There is nothing bullish about it. Yeah, it's getting near bottom of, you know, its range, or it's out of its major range, I think, kind of, but yeah, dude, there's just no action to take right now on PRQ, on all these altcoins. Look, right? When a massive markdown occurs, that's the impulse. It takes time for consolidation to occur, for us to maybe start gauging, oh, it looks like it's starting to reverse. Maybe no. It's way too early. But yeah, certainly you are at near, yes, you're near all-time lows. Congratulations. Wow. That doesn't mean it's time to take a long. Wait till 29.4 cents. Maybe have an alert set up there. Okay. Next request was this one. Yep. So like QNT. Like the whole thing was Bitcoin was at 40K. All right, QNT was at 144.80 roughly, right? That's your cutoff, right? If you were ever owning an S coin and it was QNT in this situation, your stop loss would 100% certainly be just marginally below 144, maybe even at it, because we talked about running stops and how they can devastate you and volatile dumping, right? That's your cutoff. The fact that you're in this still after that level breaks clearly shows that you didn't have a plan, you didn't care, right? You have to. Every altcoin you ever buy, especially in uncertain conditions like this, you cannot just go long on an asset and hold it when it's just sitting here at a support. And if it breaks it, you know it's probably going down to that inception low or that listing low when it got listed on Binance July of last year. That's where it is. It's actually lower than that right now. So that's what I'm saying, dude. You said, what levels does one get out of this totally hopeless asset now? The time to get out was 144, right? Like if you would have requested this on the 17th or the 6th of January, beginning of the year, late December, I'd have said the same thing. That is where you want nothing to do with the asset, below 144.80. And because when support breaks, they go down to the next levels. The next level on this chart was $100. So the asset, after it broke the critical support, how much value did it lose? It lost 30% in 5 days, maybe 4 days. But actually, at the nadir, at its lowest point intraday, it lost 42% of its value. So you understand, maybe this is you can't take action on it, but we can educate. I can try to at least articulate an educational excuse for everyone else watching so people benefit from the stream and get value out of it because everyone has limited time, right? Does that make sense, chat? Anyone? Maybe, did anyone get anything out of that? I don't know. Okay, Ross, Klaus, Nick, beer gone. What now? Do we continue or do we stop? I don't know. Yeah, I binge watched Ozark. I literally watched it's kind of sad, but I did binge watch all of it. So I'm completely caught up on Ozark. I won't say a freaking word. I'm not going to spoil anything. But I'll say one thing. Really good. Really good. Worth watching. Yeah, I didn't even know. Sorry, I'll do that right now, Brad. Yep. Cyberg. Jesus chimes for Cyberg. Congratulations, Cyberg, on the YouTube chat. Say something now. The next time you say something, good things will happen. Okay, so QNT, no more time to spend on this loser. Major loser. The next one was we're talking about Taiwan semiconductors. Oh, you don't want to see it, I don't think. You do not want to see it, man. I mean, I don't know. It was rallying, and then it wasn't. It was good. It had broken out of our mega range, accumulation range, but what did it do? Oh my god, dude. Taiwan Semiconductor. It broke that really nice range it was in, and what did it do? It ran up to test old all-time highs. Actually, briefly intraday made all-time highs. But since it hit all-time highs, it has jumped from its highest point ever to its lowest point now. It is down 14% in a week, 1 week. And I think the next target's probably 120. Don't know why it would stop. If it gets above 126, always runs the chance of seeing 142 again, or maybe even 135. But in these market conditions, man, good luck. Really, really good luck. Like, I'm sure there's a demand line we could plot, you know, from here. It's probably going down to like 117, 118. And if you ever fall below this 120 area, it's 108. Yeah, but dude, like, you got to go the weekly on Taiwan Semiconductor. I think that's what you're asking for. Yeah, it is. Captain Hindsight. You got the weekly. It's not good, man. I mean, that's like confirmation high. One high we don't know. Second high we do know. It's over. This could be seeing 108 again, especially if the market conditions continue to deteriorate the way they have been recently. Yes. And then at that point, once you break 108, it's over. This asset will be almost imminently going to $93 to fill a gap. Below that, you know it could go much, much lower, right? So I would just be really careful staring in the face of a massive double top, potential double top. The potential double top is not confirmed until you breach the neckline, which is 108. So I guess you're okay until that, but like, dude, you just confirmed the top, I guess. Something would have to happen in the next couple weeks for this to not be kind of starting to get a little scary, right? Wait, so did we talk to Ross? Did Ross say anything? Did the big boys tip in the stream? They were, you know, they tell me what should be done? What's up, big dude?
Can we check FTM inflection points?
Yeah, FTM and Algo. No, FTM and Cosmos Atom are like kind of interesting. They're not, hey, they've lost a lot of value, but they're still making higher lows. Can't believe it, right? Yeah, we'll put on the list. Thank you, dude. It's not Stream Elements. It is Stream Elements. It is their platform. You know, it's broken. Like, you have memory leaks sometimes. So remember, Bitcoin engulfed on the 4-hour. It's nuclear on its RSI, oversold. So anytime that happens, you catch relief rallies, especially low volume on the weekend. And then altcoins that were down 20% yesterday could be up 6%, 7% today. Yeah, could happen, dude. Doesn't mean like anything's changed. Things don't change, so you start making consecutive higher highs than your previous highs, and then higher lows after. The trend has to reverse. The trend is still down, sloping. Lower highs, lower lows. Oh, I thought you were saying hello, pal, to me. HP is Hewlett Packard on New York Stock Exchange. But somehow, yeah, there's something called HP on the Canadian Stock Exchange called Hello Pal. Here's your weekly. Completely devastated. I wouldn't touch it. Just blasted through the 200-week moving average like it was a joke. And there is, I mean, yeah, I guess it's sitting. It literally closed right at the IPO price from May of 2016 at like 23.5 cents. I don't know how well that holds. There's no edge. Nothing implies that it's going to hold in reverse here. I would wait till like 7 cents. There is nothing. There's no argument. Like, you got an 88% retrace probably at this point from the lowest low ever to the highest high ever. You exceeded the 886. You broke the 886. Dude, there is... Good luck, man. Like, to apply traditional technical analysis to this, there's no edge. Down 8% on Friday. What if like the whole market keeps selling off? This thing's gonna go to 7 cents eventually. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. Sorry, man. Weekly's awful. Like, terrible. Terrible. Good God. Speaking of nuclear RSI, 21.5. Really bad. Ugly. Catching a falling knife right now. Okay, next request, which is the last request. FTM. I was talking about, it's actually kind of interesting because look where it is. Actually at a level. Like a support resistance from September, October, November, almost December, and here you are again. You're right back at it. But, you just think like a little bit lower for a full reset. It was great though. A high, the highest high near all-time highs, and then bearish divergence was identified, and it played out. It was beautiful. TA being respected on this, on the bullish side and the bearish side. You gotta love that, man. When the TA is respected on both sides, I love it. Negative momentum is still building. Nothing, I mean, besides you have an inflection point you're at on the daily. That's it. You're still above that 200 moving average. You see, yeah, there it is, right? So it's just a massively real level being back tested for the first time. You didn't even back test it after you broke at Christmas Eve before seeing, 338's top. So yeah, this is certainly where a reaction could occur based on looking left. But there's no edge. There's no real seller exhaustion. You catch a reaction here, you rally up 5, 10, 12, 15, 20%, make a lower high than the previous high, and then you dump again, and you come to back test this level again. The next time you may not be as lucky, and or it might be actionable for a long, because we always want to buy the confirmation lows. We don't want to buy the first low because you have no idea. No one has a clue this is actually the bottom. But the second time, that's when market participants gain confidence to believe the bottom's in. And you want to be, you want the confidence of market participants because the probability is higher that a more significant real reversal is happening. First time you don't know. And it could rally. It could have a nice rally. It's probably just going to make a lower high than previous highs and dump again. And then test this level once more. So. You get it, Eggman? FTM, very real levels for. I could certainly see a reaction happening here because historically that's exactly what happens. Major reactions. So don't be surprised if it happens here after such immense selling on the macro. Okay. If you're enjoying the live stream, hit the like button, the bell, sub. Thanks everyone for being here. We got about 735 here. You get it. It's the weekend. Markets collapsing. We're gonna have lower numbers on the weekend with the market collapsing. It's just gonna happen. So. So what do we do? We open another beer, or do I leave? Chat. What should we do? I mean, what else? I mean, I've been live for an hour and 23 minutes. It's what's there to do, man? Like, not much really I can do on stream, right? Like, I've kind of done everything I can. Yeah, FTM, very intriguing. But at the same time, you could use your imagination, right? On FTM. FTM's imagination, where it's way lower risk, can be like 141 for another M shape, deep full reset, and then you might have an edge by then too, right? We already looked at Hex. Frank, we already looked at Hex today, did a thorough analysis of it, okay? And then we also went into some education in the Hex analysis too, so. Yeah, why not look at KNC, dude? Why not look at KNC, which...
Pull out the Hex chart, baby. Grab the beer. Hard.
Yeah, KNC, wow, look at this, dude. Look at this. You're at the bottom of a trading range while Bitcoin's so devastated. I mean, lower risk, KNC. Obviously. Yep, Chewy, thanks, dude. I had known about it. I had foreseen your tip, so I went ahead and did it. So look, yeah, man. I mean, the upside's 231 if it holds, sure. And if you outperform like that during a crash, a couple of days of crashing, and Bitcoin recovers, you understand this thing's gonna probably go to 231 again. It's just wild that it's doing this. It's the market participants' safe haven. They are not letting price fall below 130. They're just not. You had to unlike to keep the likes at 420. Nice.
Is that a joint?
Beer. I love you all.
What's up, Frank, dude? We love you too when you're not shamelessly shilling. That's the best version of Frank Media when he doesn't do that, right? But yeah, I mean, I would think there's tremendous upside on KNC. Because now it's like Bitcoin could keep selling off another 5-10%, but you're starting to get to a point where it's like so nuclear in its RSI oversold territory that the downside potential is just getting less and less, at least for a little while, before a buyer induction comes in, a relief rally for another massive dump, and all the oscillators reset. But the oscillators are not reset right now in Bitcoin. Oscillators are at their extreme levels. So anytime you're extreme levels, you could always start rallying. And you know, if an outperformer like this can actually hold critical supports while Bitcoin's crashing, imagine when the buyer induction or the relief rally occurs and it's sitting above supports, where it could go. It could go 230 again, for sure. And you would probably just have a stop below 128. So just hard, you know, hard being like, oh, time to long on anything except maybe KNC, because nothing else even makes sense. There, you know, accumulation's like evident here. Wild.
I posted my McDonald's stream picture in the Citadel. Also, you got in the UFC fight tonight, Francis or Game?
Dude, I have no idea. Hold on, let me flip a coin and I'll tell you. Francis or Game? Game. It's gonna be Game, dude. Alright, Game wins. Game wins, chat. That's your face. You just have an egg there. An egg with a McDonald's hat. That's perfect, dude. Literally perfect.
Good stop position for someone who shorted from the top. Smiley face.
For what? Bitcoin? Ethereum? Semiconductors? The NASDAQ composite? The S&P? What? I don't know. You have to tell me. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I was shorting the top of what? I don't know what any of that means. Liam, thank you, dude, for that. Lots of questions. I'm just confused now. Devs do something? Alright, I'll get a beer, but I don't know what I'm going to talk about for the next amount of time I have a beer, right? What do I think about Michael Burry taking all his holdings out of stocks? I mean, based on the technical development, the bearish divergence on the weekly and monthly at the literal exact same time. Haven't seen monthly bearish divergence like we have on the RSI on the NASDAQ since literally the top of the tech bubble. I guess I would call it prudent and conservative. But he's also doing that, calling a top. He's saying it is over. Like the market, if you're like taking all your positions and liquidating them to cash, you're saying the market's done and the bear trend has begun. Like that, I mean, I guess, right? And that's what he's saying. That's what he's telegraphing that with his action. So I don't know. I'm not arrogant enough to say that it's all over, but it is nice to have a lot of cash because, you know, again, for me on the S&P and the NASDAQ, the dump is nasty. The dump is very, very bad. But you will catch bids eventually. There will be a dead cat bounce or a relief rally, and it will be interesting to see however far it goes.
Could you check uranium chart, Mitch?
Once we find another top, another substantially lower high, that is like going to be a signal that it's over, that maybe a recession's beginning. You just don't know when like the most recent discernible event actually was the highest level ever. So, you know. And you haven't really made a lower low than the previous major low from October, even though you did make lower lows than here from December. That sucks. But like you got another low. If that gets taken out, it's done. But like, you know, we're going to catch bids eventually, and we're going to see a dead cat bounce of some sort. NASDAQ did it in 1999, and the Dow Jones did it in 1929. So, Iridium. What's up, Free Like Summer? Sure did. How do you strategize re-entry points? Again, you have to make sure, we got to figure out and find out. It's good to be prudent and conservative and like be sitting on the sidelines while the development occurs. But like there's always an offshoot chance that it's improbable, but V-shapes happen, because of stupid forces that are propping up the market, like because it's not a real, like it's like extremely manipulated, extremely like inflated, extremely just right. I mean, like this here, this was like Federal Reserve intervention, chat. This wasn't just everyone decided to start buying, man. This was Federal Reserve intervention. This occurred right here in March, the COVID crash lows, right? And so you can clearly see, the uptrend from there. All right, V-shaped recovery, and now here we are. So we're dumping, clearly in an uptrend still, but not if we make a lower high. If we make a lower high and then we sell off, make a lower low than the previous low whenever we pivot, then we're in a downtrend. It doesn't even have to be a crash. You don't have to crash for bear trends to develop. All you have to do is make consecutive lower highs, lower lows. Bitcoin didn't crash initially, but it ended up making a lower high than previous high, 69K, and then lower low, then lower high, and all of a sudden, classic distribution, 60-minute, 4-hour time scales for dumps. So just remember, S&P 500 falling below its 200-day moving average for the first time since June of 2020. Right, that's very bad. It's not a good sign. But it's still, though, from their previous low to high, you're at a 70% retrace. That could continue on Monday. So how do you know the bottom's in? When do you start getting back in? When you start seeing stuff like this, when you start seeing like a low and then a higher low, and then you start showing hidden divergence or classic divergence on the same low. But yeah, just there's like nothing to do right now but to wait. Patience. You're asking about crypto, it's the same thing. Until Bitcoin starts showing confirmation lows or starts making a higher high than previous high and then higher lows than previous lows, that's it. That's when you know it's time to start like maybe, getting back in. But like, and I'm talking strategically getting back in, not just I'm going to dollar cost average till zero. I'm talking about like, hey, if I'm going to actually like, it's going to reverse. One bottom, a second bottom, engulfing candle, rejecting inflection points. Like you fell below the inflection point, July 20th. And that's it. That was the lowest low, lowest daily candle close since January 1st. But the next day, right, it's not about the bearish breakdown itself. It is about the fall through price action you receive. But the next day, what happened? A mega bullish engulfing candle. What also happened? An 8 to 9 month downtrend on the RSI was breached. There was the continuation of bullish divergence that was already there at these levels. Right? One time, we don't know. Second time, maybe. Third time, for sure, when you reject lower prices. And what'd you do? In a couple of days, a few days, you ran straight up to the next resistance. Pulled back a little bit, then rallied and broke out. So, until like you're seeing stuff like that, like just over developing bullish divergence at inflection points, you're holding, you're rejecting sell-offs, you can't take action. There's, just so much that needs to be done, so much work to do, such little time for Bitcoin. Of course, we're not looking for bottoms. We're looking normally for the second or third low, second or third bottom, right? Because you want confirmation lows. Yep, current percentage of price decline in assets since their top. Bitcoin's down 50%, Ethereum 52%, Atom 39%. But then you look at some worse ones, like Doge is down 83% from its all-time highs. Shiba's down 80%. Link's down 73%. XRP down 72%. Cardano down 70%, right? Bad.
Every day I'm checking the price and it's dipping. Every day I check the price, bad price. Can devs do something? I have overinvested by a lot.
I'm drinking beer. Dude, that's all I'm doing. Just drinking beer. Looking at charts. Panic at the Bisco. Is that what it is, dude? Oh my god, a new name change. A name change is coming and a new CEO. Oh, dude. Time to go get as many mortgages as you can, dude. To buy XSPA. Chart's like broken, dude.
$XSPA looks like it got wrecked. But a name change is coming and they have a new CEO. But the TA doesn't look promising, especially in this market. Do you see any harmonic here, or you think it's going more towards 1.20? Thank you.
We'll go take a look at it, man. How about that, man? Okay. That's the next request anyway. Whoops, wrong button, dude. Yikes. We'll look at XSBA, man. Alright. Express bar. Oh my god, dude. Express pub, very bad, dude. Very, very bad. Breached 165, that was the cutoff. Definitely. Can devs do something? No, they can't, and they won't, and they probably never will. It's down 9% on Friday. Consumer Sciences. Express Spa, devastated. I get it. You're like, oh, it's an M shape. Doesn't matter. No reaction, no edge, nothing. I wouldn't touch it, dude. I don't think there's, like, I get it. Like, a couple times it's reversed at, like, 130. Fine. Then I wouldn't even look at it again till 130. But even then, 100% retrace. I mean, like, 116 maybe. 116 maybe. But the actual fact of the matter is, look at the chart. What does it do? All it does is make lower highs, lower lows. It's so bad. I would never touch this. I wouldn't touch this with my worst enemy's money. That's how bad it is. I wouldn't touch my worst enemy's money, okay? I would touch it with Hitler's money, sure. I'd go all in with Hitler's money, but like I'm just saying how bad it is, it's probably going to keep dipping, dumping, and there's nothing implying a major reversal at all. Okay. I would use Hitler's money because it's probable that it'll keep selling off, so Hitler would keep losing money, right? You see what I'm saying? Okay. No, Hitler has no money. Dude, it's... come on, dude. Can you kind of understand? I'm using a metaphor here. I'm like a... You know, this big boys, dude. This is what you do. You like make analogies and stuff like that, right? What if I made Hitler rich? Oh, I'd have a limit sell order at like 150. So if it goes up, he's not going to make money. All right, that's what I would do, I guess, right? We're not going to let it happen, man. He ain't going to make anything in this hypothetical situation, all right?
Can devs do something?
Anything that's so nuclear and being oversold, I wouldn't short. You can't short now. But we just talked about, like, the downside is still there, but the downside limitability I think is high because the oscillators are so freaking nuclear. Then the oscillators need to reset before one would be thinking about maybe shorting again. Because like I told you, like maybe Bitcoin could catch a relief rally here.
Would you use Score US to stable it?
Hitler only shorts, so you would have made him money. Not cool, bro. No, because in this situation, it's like, remember I said I wouldn't touch it with. It would be me managing it, right? In this stupid situation.
Not cool, bro.
Someone said something before. Oh, Crypto Time Machine, what's up, dude? Sorry, the whole like stream elements is busted. Both of y'all's tips are still in midair. Look to your Look to your left. Still floating on. I might have to reset it. What's going on? Oh, Freelight Summer. I get you, dude. Sorry. Uranium. Yeah. Look at URA. I'll like USDC until things change. Okay, URA, which is uranium. I'm dumping too, man. So it's like what a substantial uptrend it's been in, but it's like kind of working on crashing right now. There's not even a reason to even look at it again until 1930, and at that point, I don't know, man. Like what a run it was on. Look at all the bearish, massive divergence.
Hi, Mitch. Any examples of rounding tops being indicators of a recession or aka bear market? For BTC in the markets, I can only see a blow of tops. That is also what I want to see in BTC, 0.000708330 BTC.
A lot of times the crashes usher in the recessions. So it's like the crash is the event that ushers in the process, which is the bear trend, the downtrend, the correction, whatever. Every time in history, until now, Bitcoin's top has been blow-off tops, and that is maybe what gave so many people confidence to believe that Bitcoin's top was not in at 69K. But this time, the top got put in by a confirmation high. Again, it's never happened before, not like that, not on a massive weekly time scale. So, it's really hard to say, because it's like, based on traditional technical analysis and hundreds of years of charts, reversals have happened in multiple ways, right? Both ways. So for me on URA, even if it's in this uptrend and all that, wouldn't you wait for value perceived areas in the uptrend, which is going to be at like the 886? So even still, there's more downside. You'd wait till 1889. You wouldn't touch it even until then, because it's like that's not even the best place to even have a harmonic. But doesn't it make sense? Like with a peak from 2017, it's right around the same area, and there's no edge. The RSI is in the bearish control zone now at 34. A lot of room to move to oversold territory. So I wouldn't really be longing URA. But there's other commodities that are nice, right? There's your URA, uranium. That again, just remember, okay? It's been on a non-stop bull trend since the COVID crash low. We're talking like 22 months. 22 months bull trend. Non-stop. 600 days, it's up 346%. That's just not really... There's no value even if you hit the PCZ here. There's no value. You missed the run on uranium. I'm sorry. Probably you've missed most of it. The life-changing money you could make... It's kind of over. Now, I don't know if the 886 holds or not. Anyway. Nice uptrend for now, and until you fall below 1720, you're probably still in that uptrend. Yep. You ready? Dude, chill, man. So right, I mean, rounding top reversals. Let's go to like the S&P 500, and let's go back to 2008 for meth. It's like, how did it all end back then? It's just a gully, man. All right, I mean, let's look back. You know, like 2006, 2007, 2008. What were you doing? I was a college kid pledging to a fraternity, getting drunk. You know. Not really worried about the election, not worried about stocks. I was, you know, ignorance is bliss. Oh yeah, big time. So I mean, like, how did it all end? You know, I mean, you had a high, July 2007. You had a really massive dump. Look at this beautiful textbook, undeniable bullish pin bar reversal on the daily. Good God! Talk about become educated, become learned with bullish pin bars. Textbook. And then the rally ensued. The attempted rally ensued. The attempted rally failed, right? the second peak came in. So one top, you don't know, massive sell-off, then attempted rally, slightly higher highs. I think that kind of is very, very similar to something that we know so much about. One time you don't know, second time is slightly higher. 64K, 69K. Sell off, what happened? Well, first dead cat bounce was October 2007. Sell off, another lower high. Uh-oh, right? Peaked out, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Lower highs again. Lower highs, chat. This is what we're looking for on the S&P now. We're going to catch bids eventually. Look what it did. Remember we were talking about, oh, it goes to the 886 and then rallies? Same thing happened. Like you had yourself like a little bad Gartley, 82% retrace, then the attempted rally. The S&P will do that too. It'll keep selling up. It'll eventually rally. And when it makes the lower high, so it makes another low. That's it, dude. That's our signal that the bear market's here. The bear trend. Yes. Yes. Had to V-shape. Intervention. Government intervention. Federal Reserve intervention occurred back in March 2009. So, did it round out? No. Did it blow off top? No. I mean, literally just attempted a rally, tried, sold off. Yeah, it's just like Bitcoin. That's kind of wild, isn't it? I see the El Salvador tweet just now. No. I did follow him, then I stopped following him because like 85 to 90% of his tweets are in Spanish, and I don't read Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, so. What is it? We got the FOMO police coming in. Hold on a sec. Good God, man. So loud. Okay, so it's just like, this is the way it'll probably look when the stock market goes into a bear trend. Similar stuff. Right, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And then something happens. Massive sell-off, attempted rally, and then a dump. You don't really know yet, but then the lower high. The good news is, here we are. We're all part of this community together. We're all going to be monitoring this every single day. So it's like, once we put in that lower high, then the all-time high on the S&P, okay, which is going to be right here. Once we attempt a rally and put in a lower high than 4,800, then we know we're probably going into something more real. All right. You'll catch some bids. I'm telling you. You're the 786. You'll go to the 886. 886. Unless it's like a COVID crash thing, deleveraging, super scary. Even though during the COVID crash, right? So you had the lower high. Here's another way of knowing, right? Here's another telltale reversal of the overall trend. Volatility spikes, massive markdowns, gap downs, but dead cat bounces. This was the most textbook dead cat bounce probably since 1929, where the crash occurred, the rally, but then the 50% retrace, and that was it. That's a dead cat bounce. Textbook dead cat bounce.
The lower
COVID
high
crash.
on the 1D, it looked completely different at the top.
Oh yeah, because it's a derivative that tracks it. There's weekends. Who cares? You know, GBDC, man. Oh, Adolf tipped. I'm never gonna say thank you. Screw yourself, Adolf. We hate you. And it was just an analogy to be like, oh yeah, we would make sure that even if it did rally, being short on that asset, you'd never make money because you'd be stopped out before it. You'd limit sell before it went up any in value. So. Do I have a Discord? Come on, dude. Look at the pinned link. Is that even a real question, dude? Look at the pinned link. What does that say? Come on, you gotta be called out on that, dude. It's like reading. We'll send you for the Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good, but who can also do other good things too. You know, sponsored by Derek Zoolander, of course. Okay, maybe it's time to get out of here, I guess. I don't know. I can't keep a stream going, dude. Like, you can only keep a stream going as long as, like, there's participants and there's, like, you know, whatever, right? So we can go back to Bitcoin. That, yes, nuclear oversold. You can start catching relief rallies anytime you're nuclear oversold, but it doesn't mean it's worth a crap at all. Yes, dude, yes. You engulfed the previous candle in the 4-hour on the weekend, and you're, again, seeing like 17 on the RSI. Yeah, anytime that happens, yeah, maybe a rally. Flip your effing coin. Enjoy. And then it makes a low. It goes up to 37K and then dumps again. Of course, I have the Sword of 1000S coins. Never given that up. Alright. Did all I could, man. I tried to keep this going as long as I could, so thanks for the likes, love, support, contributions, everything in between. Ross, Klaus, Nick, thank you all for the mega tips, this, you know, 3-figure tips today. 100% crowdsourced stream. So because of them, people like y'all requesting it and all that, you're keeping it going, man. No advertising, no affiliate marketing, none of that crap put in your face. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Till next time, respect the T. Hey.
I can't take this anymore. Can devs do something?